Hi guys, Craig Nickel from The Bricks. Welcome back. Today we've got an exciting topic on the next step of the property investment formula, which is buying under the median price of the area that you're looking in. So this step is really all about risk mitigation. Now, a large part of the property investment formula that we do is a renovation style formula so that you're increasing the value of the property so you can borrow against it. Now, it's very difficult to do when you're buying well above the median price in any suburb. So to start off with, what is the median price? Now, the median price is the middle value of homes that have sold in the area. So if there are 11 homes that have sold in the area, then it's going to be number 6, right in the middle there. What is that value? Because what this tells us is where most of the buyers are for a particular area. Because normally each year there are 50 to 100 homes sold in a particular suburb. If that middle value around 50 is coming up at $1 million, we know that the ones on either side are very likely to be around that same sort of price. And it tells me that there are a lot of buyers in that area looking to spend $1 million. So why is this step so important? Well, it's a really common mistake for people who are trying this investment strategy to purchase a property that is way too expensive already at the top end of a particular suburb. And then their plan is to try and revalue that after a renovation at a much higher amount when there are very few properties actually selling at that price range. For example, you buy a property at $1.5 million. The median price, as per the example before, was $1 million. And then they want to put in $200,000 to revalue it at $2 million. And really, there might be 1 or 2 houses in the suburb selling at that level. And it's very difficult then for a valuer to come through and say, well, yes, I agree, this is comfortably worth $2 million. What you want to be doing is, in $1 million median house suburb, you want to go, okay, well, I'll buy for $600,000 or $700,000. We'll put in $100,000 or we'll put in $150,000 and we'll reval it at the median price of $1 million, because that's an easy one for a valuer to come through and go, great, I've got 100 comps here that are basically circling that amount. Easy to do, bang, and you're away, and then you're on to your next property. So this is really all about risk mitigation. So we're talking about buying properties that are at or below that median value so we can then get that uplift and get a valuation around a common pricing in the area. And when we're talking about common pricing as well, it's important that we're looking at common property types. So we want to make it easy for the valuer with price, but we also want to make it easier for them to get a property type that is similar and that is commonly sold within the area. So for example, if we're buying into an area, let's call it a fairly new estate in Melbourne, and they've built homes all around that 2000 mark about 20 years ago, and they're all 3-bedroom homes on 400 square meters. If a valuer comes through, goes through a house, it's exactly what I've just said, a 3-bed on 400 square meters, built 20 years ago. It's extremely easy for them to value. Bang, they're away, and you've got the valuation where you need it to be. But on the flip side, if you buy a property in that area that's, let's say, on 150 square meters, and it's a 6-bedroom property, it's a regular shape, and it's completely different to everything else that you see in the area, then they're going to come through and go, well, how do I value this? It's very complicated. And all of a sudden you might find that they'll err on the side of being conservative, which is very common, and they'll give you a lower valuation, even though in your mind it may have more bedrooms and there may be more value there. It's just not the way it works. You need to give these valuers data and facts that they can look and compare to and go, great, we're confident that this price is what the property is worth at the moment. When selling properties, I've seen so many people get valuations completed and they're in this exact situation where they've made the mistake of having a property where maybe they've done this massive extension on a small block and there's just nothing comparable to it, and the valuation comes back low. And they're like, oh, why? What happened? And I can tell you what, there's nothing to compare the property to. So the bank and the valuer is just not confident at all to lend money against it or to give it a high valuation like you expected. So as I said, a key to this property investment formula is to get a renovation completed and to be able to get that higher valuation. And to get that higher valuation, we need to make it easy on the bank valuer. And to do this, I'm telling you to buy below that median price, so you've got that margin of safety to work with. Once you do renovate it, it will end up around that median price, which valuers will find comfortable to work with. But also you're buying a common property type where the valuer in that area will have been through another 10 or 20 homes exactly the same, and they've got confidence to give you a good price for your property because they know lots of buyers are out there to purchase it. So that's it for this step of the property investment formula. Again, please comment below. We love your feedback on all of our videos so we can keep making them better. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Otherwise, it's Craig Nicol, The Bricks.